Imagine screaming at the top of your lungs into a pitch-black room, only to hear a single, perfectly clear voice whisper back, and then never speak again. That is exactly what happened to humanity on August 15th, 1977. Out of the billions of years of absolute, freezing silence in deep space, a radio telescope detected a signal so loud, so perfectly engineered, and so impossibly precise that the astronomer who found it could only scribble one word on the page. Wow. For 72 seconds, the universe broke its silence. But it's not the signal itself that terrifies scientists. It's what happened minutes later when the telescope looked back at that exact spot in the sky and found something that defies every law of physics we know. If you think this was just a random glitch or a passing comet, you're about to find out why the smartest minds on Earth are still quietly terrified of what we actually intercepted. Why this keeps people glued to the screen. To get people to watch a long-form video, the first 30 seconds must achieve three things. The relatable metaphor. The screaming into a pitch-black room visual immediately give the audience a visceral, human feeling rather than boring them with technical telescope data right away. The micro cliffhanger. Saying, it's not the signal itself that terrifies scientists. It's what happened minutes later. Forces the viewer's brain to stay tuned. They have to find out what happened next. Challenging the skeptics. By explicitly mentioning and dismissing glitches or comets at the very start, you show the audience that this isn't a basic story they can just Google in 2 seconds. You are promising them deep, mysterious, insider information. The Midnight Anomaly. It was a quiet night on August 15th, 1977, at the Big Ear Radio Telescope in Ohio, when the universe decided to break its silence. Astronomer Jerry Ehman was scanning the computer printout of the data recorded days earlier, expecting the usual static of the cosmos, the random, chaotic hiss of background radiation. Instead, his eyes locked onto a sequence of 6 characters, 6EQJ5, in the shorthand of the telescope's data system. This wasn't just noise. It was an explosion of radio intensity, a signal 30 times louder than the surrounding vacuum of space, perfectly focused on a specific frequency. Overwhelmed by the sheer impossibility of what he was looking at, Ehman grabbed a red pen, circled the sequence, and wrote a single, emphatic word in the margin. Wow! Decades later, that scribbled exclamation remains the title of the most profound, frustrating, and enduring mystery in the history of modern astronomy. The blueprint of an alien beacon. What made the wow signal so captivating wasn't just its volume, but how perfectly it mimicked what scientists expected an extraterrestrial beacon to look like. It lasted for exactly 72 seconds, the precise amount of time it took the Big Ear telescope, utilizing the rotation of the Earth, to sweep across that specific point in the sky. The signal rose in intensity, peaked and faded symmetrically, proving it was originating from a fixed point out in deep space, somewhere in the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. Even more shocking was its frequency. It clocked in at approximately 1420 megahertz, which corresponds to the 21-centimeter line, the natural emission frequency of neutral hydrogen. For decades, SETI scientists had hypothesized that if an advanced alien civilization wanted to chat across the interstellar void, they would use this exact water hole frequency, knowing it is a universal language of physics that any intelligent species would be monitoring. The cosmic ghost. Yet, the true torment of the wow signal lies in its sudden, absolute disappearance. The Big Ear telescope had 2 feed horns designed to scan the same patch of sky, just minutes apart, meaning if a signal was continuous, it should have been detected twice. It was only heard once. In the days, months, and decades that followed, astronomers aimed the world's most powerful radio dishes back at that exact coordinate in Sagittarius, desperately listening for a repeat performance. They found nothing but absolute, freezing silence. This vanishing act threw a wrench into scientific method, which relies entirely on repeatability. Without a second transmission, critics argued it could have been a military satellite, a secret defense experiment, or a highly localized terrestrial signal bouncing off space debris. However, none of these explanations perfectly fit the data. Satellites don't stay fixed relative to background stars, and Earthbound interference rarely mimics the hydrogen line so flawlessly. A universe of questions. In recent years, scientists have proposed new natural explanations to finally close the case, including a highly publicized theory that a pair of passing comets surrounded by massive hydrogen clouds could have inadvertently generated the signal. But this hypothesis was quickly met with skepticism from the broader astronomical community, who pointed out that comets wouldn't produce a signal quite so intense or tightly focused. So, the mystery endures. Was a highly advanced alien civilization flashing a cosmic lighthouse beam that simply swept past Earth once and moved on? Was it a bizarre, one-time astrophysical phenomenon that we have yet to categorize? Or was it just a glitch in our own primitive equipment, a ghost in the machine that mocked our desire to not be alone? Until another signal pierces the static of Sagittarius. The wow. Signal remains humanity's ultimate cliffhanger, a lone, brilliant whisper from the dark that left us wondering if we missed our chance to answer